All right, this video is dedicated to a viewer that wrote about how he wants a little bit more of an in-depth explanation of my strategy. Let's do February. Let's do whatever. Okay, so he said he wants a little bit more of an in-depth. He wants me to explain what I'm looking for exactly in those time frames because I'm switching between them so quick. So he wants to see exactly what the hell am I even doing. So the 4 hour time frame I'm looking for my bias. Now people could say, "Oh, why don't you use the weekly? Why don't you use the daily?" Honestly, because I'm not playing within that long of a range. I'm not swinging, so the 4 hour kind of represents what we're doing for the day to me. And I mark out like these very obvious highs and lows. We didn't really get a break of structure to upside. We're kind of playing in a little bit of a consolidation. We did get this inversion on this fair value gap, so it's supporting the bias a little bit, but there's not too much confluence behind it. And we have these downside candles to these fair value gaps. Let's just see how it runs, right? We can catch a down move, we can catch an up move. Let's just see. And on the 15 minute, looks like we're kind of just looks like we're gonna want to retrace all of this and go up, right? We can, but let's just see how it plays. Let's go down to the 1 minute. On the 5 minute, we got this fair value gap, and it'll probably respect this one. So let's see how it looks on the 1 minute, and just play out some time. Oh shit! What time is this? Oh, this is bad. Okay. Anyway, let me redo that. So retrace some of that, then push down. This is definitely news. Sessions are trash. Oh my god. Okay, so it looks like we're definitely targeting this high. This high. 15 minute, we're just getting a 15-minute retrace into a fair value gap. And let's see. Let me move this over. And let's just mark out like the equilibrium. So we could probably find a long setup. Boom, equilibrium right there. See how it looks. If it wants to push into there. Swept out this low. I kind of want to see it sweep out at least this low. Let's look for 5 minute liquidity, 15-minute liquidity. All right, so if it sweeps out this one, this is very high confluence, but we're still playing inside this. And we have an hourly, right? Oh, wow, we don't even have an hourly imbalance. That's unique. Okay, so now we're playing inside here and just took out the equilibrium. I want to see it respect this and push lower, but I don't think it wouldn't. Honestly, it's 9:41. It's too early to even take this, but I can see these highs getting taken. Yeah, so instantly just ran for our liquidity. Yeah, and I'll explain why I did this is because we're kind of like in a bigger like this whole picture here is a market maker sell model into a buy model, right? So we are kind of in the last leg of distribution up to this buy side liquidity. So that's why it ran so early. So now it's 9:55. You kind of missed the move so early because it was just a continuation of the pre-markets move and the London session move. Now it can run for these, but it's kind of sucks that we already lost that move into that fair value gap, pushing up. It's a very clean, very nice fair value gap move. But let's just see. Maybe it could consolidate for a little bit, give us an entry. All right. So we're moving. We're moving. Looking good. We got this 5 minute. And the reason I switched to the 15 minute is because I want to see if this 15 minute closed and created a 15 minute imbalance. Broke structure, obviously. We know the bias is bullish, right? So now we're just looking for an entry. And we have this big fair value gap. If this inverses, you could take long off of this because it tapped into a bullish PD array, swept out some liquidity right here. So let's just see. And if it pushes down, you just look for another one. And that's fine. So now we're inside here. There's a black one. Let's see. And you could say this whole range right here is an order block. So we're looking bullish. For the most part, we're looking bullish, but it did sweep out higher time frame liquidity. I'd still wait it out. See what happens. Let's see, is there a 3 minute imbalance? No. Is there a 5 minute? Yes. Let's see. So now it's really pushing nicely. It break entering. Say TP1. And we could go long. It'll probably tap back in. Nope, just runs. All right. And if I could just explain this real quick, you had the well, not a 15 minute, but a 5 minute bullish PD array. Doesn't close under. Inverses as well, but I didn't wait for the inverse because I would have gotten a worser fill. I just knew that it was going to push. So pushed up. I was going to say, because I had a feeling that this was bullish, that we could have waited for just the breakish structure off of this candle, but within that breakish structure, it also closed. So I was like, okay, screw it. Let's just take the long. Let's move our stop. We know it's long for sure. We know it's up, but yeah, there we go. Sometimes it's probably just going to come back down here for more liquidity to hit this. Unfortunately, it's just the way it is. I'd probably say screw it. Let's just take profits here. I'd take another 25% and then just say screw it. I still think it's going to come. Comes down, sweeps this, inverses. Let's just see where this goes. Listen, man, I don't make the strategy. I just follow the rules, all right? So hit this TP, came back down, and this is clean on the 1 minute. This is clean right here. This is very clean. Yeah, yo, if you ever see setups like this, take them. Take them every time. When you ever see a setup that has like coming from a market maker sell model like this into a buy model where it sweeps sell side all in one leg like this, it inverses it, sweeps this all in one leg, right? Inverses it in one leg, taps in. You could have went long right here, long. Stop underneath this low. And then targeted this high, that high, that high. You know what I mean? This is a clean setup. And look how it respects this fair value gap. That's clean, man. Very nice. That's very nice. You could have hit a crazy trade off of that. Honestly, very nice trade. See, me, I just took it off of this bullish up to these highs, which is still a clean ass trade. Can't hate on it. So bias was correct, move was correct, everything was correct. Can't hate on it. I'm happy. All right, so we clearly know we're pushing now. And I don't know if it's going to give us a fill for this since it seems so strong, but we clearly see that we're pushing to the upside. Hopefully, we get like a. This is kind of sucks because we're in the move of the extension and it already came down. You know what I mean? We could just very well extend up. But hopefully we get some pushes down so we can find a long. Like maybe like at these lows that would be clean. Right? Was this okay. So we get this big move up, sweeps. This will probably inverse. Let's see. So it inverses it. Honestly, you can short down to these lows, but I wouldn't like that trade. It's terrible risk to reward, and you're shorting against your bias. You know it's gonna probably come down here, and it just came down here to these lows. Inverses it. Doesn't want to tap into this one. Maybe not. Right? Maybe not. Let's just see what it does. Okay, beauty. Beauty. Very volatile market open. And okay. Let me explain what I'm doing exactly real quick. So there's this fair value gap, there's this fair value gap, and there's probably going to be one more. So I'm switching between the time frame to see where there's a singular fair value gap, like this big leg here. It'll probably be a singular one right here, right? Let's see how it closes. Boom. So it swept this. Now you got this fair value gap here, and you could probably wait for this to inverse. It's just only thing that sucks is that it's a large range, but let's just see how this moves. Does it inverse? What time is it? Okay, so it does inverse. 9:57, that's an alright time. Let's find some buy side. Let's find some good buy side liquidity. So right here, GP2 could be that. Kind of want to leave a bigger one on here for some reason. Doing all this, watch it get stopped out. Hopefully I don't call out the market in a bad way. And it closed above that. So I don't really see a reason why this wouldn't work out fully. If it does, sometimes the strategy is just not 100%. You really can't hate on it. I'd say 50% off here and then let the others run. All right. So far, I mean, strategy's flawless. I swear, it's really just looking good. Now, I can move my stop to break even, but I feel like I just want to keep it where it is, like at this low. And it's not really smart. I kind of like just confirming profits, even if it's low, whatever. Even if it's like a little bit of profit, okay, that sucks, but at least it's better than taking a loss. Because usually the market likes to sweep, come back down, stops me out sometimes. So I just want to see how this one goes. Okay, so it hits, whatever, it just runs. And I feel like this one, I forgot to put my take profit up to here, but I feel like this one can run. See how it looks. And yeah, this one's running. This was beautiful trade. Here was 2 clean setups. This will be a post for YouTube. Just how I found my setups. And I just want to say one more thing. I see all of this accumulation area where it's choppy, 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 choppy. There's not much volume. There's really not much volume until you open. You see all these fluctuations in prices. And the reason I targeted this low specifically was that this low was kind of not the one that was swept this whole time. This low was never swept this whole time. Never swept, never swept, never swept, never swept. All of these this never swept. So the reason I didn't take it off of this sweep was because I was like, the market has these lows for retail traders, and retail traders are putting their stop loss under there when they're taking a long. So they're like, oh, before we run it up, let's hit their stop loss and run it. You know what I mean? And then I believe we waited for an inversion on the 3-minute. It inversed here, tapped in, respected this fair value gap. Boom, you could have longed it off of that. And then TP1 was here because I just like, securing some profits quick. And that one wouldn't have even stopped me off at break even, honestly. So clean trade. Anyway, if you have any questions, please refer to the timestamp in the video. And Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.